All right, good evening, everyone. 10 News Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here with the tropical update for 8 o'clock on our Thursday night. Just got the 8 p.m. update from the Hurricane Center. Still has winds of 60 miles per hour, moving to the northwest around 20 miles per hour. It's battering Punta Gorda and Dominican Republic right now, and even parts of Haiti, and is headed down towards the Turks and Caicos. So pretty, I wouldn't say impressive, but the satellite picture is getting a little bit better. We do not get a track update at 8 o'clock. I'll show you that coming up here in just a minute, but it's some pretty good news for West Central Florida at least. Now, here's a closer look at the storm. I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. The center is basically, you can see where the end of this thing is right here. The center is sitting right in this area right in here. Okay, you see that kind of where I've circled it there? Look where all the convection is, to the north and way out here to the east. Okay, and that's with some southwest wind shear that's blowing on this. And I think that trend is just going to continue through this whole thing. In fact, it may ebb a little bit tonight and tomorrow morning, but then come back as we get into Friday night and Saturday. And so what that's going to do is put all the worst weather to the north and east of where the center is. Now, where's it going to go? That's the big question. Here's the forecast track that was issued this evening at 5 o'clock. This has shifted a little bit further to the east. You can see the intensity has come up a little bit as well, too. Now, a hurricane by Saturday morning, and slowly increasing as it pulls away from Hispaniola tonight and tomorrow, and then by Saturday morning we're looking at a hurricane moving through the Bahamas. So hurricane warnings now up for the Bahamas. Now look at this: east of Melbourne, Sebastian Inlet, Sunday morning, a minimal Category 1 hurricane, 75 mile per hour wind, 74 and up starts the hurricane categories. But remember, if this holds and if the center were there, the worst weather is going to be like here. All right, so that's actually not a bad thing at this point. But that is completely if this holds. And right now, this is something we still have to watch. I'm getting more relaxed about it, that's for sure. But it's certainly something that's not set in stone at this point. So Sunday afternoon. Sunday morning east of Sebastian Inlet, Melbourne area. Sunday afternoon, it's east of Daytona Beach. And then look at this, Wilmington, North Carolina. I mean, man, they take it on the chin up there the last few years. 75 mile per hour hurricane possibly making landfall somewhere between Wilmington and Beaufort. It's hard to tell. Morehead City area as we get into Monday, during the day on Monday. And this thing skirts the coast with some pretty decent winds, although most of the highest winds will be just offshore. All right, so that's the track. Here are the forecast models. And what you really need to focus on are the ones that are going across the Bahamas. That's where most of the global modeling is going now. There are still some stragglers coming west. If it comes further west, like some of these are suggesting, it will not be as strong as the current forecast. 75 mile per hour wind. So that's good. So say, based in Tampa here, if we were to get more of a direct hit, then it would be less winds than what's forecasted. Right now, the center looks like it wants to stay offshore according to the forecast, off the east coast of Florida. So it's not a bad weekend for Tampa as a result, if that holds. Now, forecast models then continue to take it right up the east coast, all the way up to Halifax, Nova Scotia, right up just off of Boston as well, too. All right, now, new with the 8 p.m. warnings with the 8 p.m. update are some warnings. Now, Turks and Caicos, Southern Bahamas have tropical storm warnings, right? They've had that. Dominican Republic still has it. Haiti still has it. Notice the Bahamas shaded in red there. And guys, this is especially Grand Bahama and Marsh Harbor area. That is just not. They're the ones that just got creamed by Dorian. And it looks like they're going to get a decent. I mean, this is nothing like Dorian. This is a minimal hurricane. But they're going to have to deal with a minimal hurricane, it looks like now, Friday night and Saturday in the Bahamas. So those folks are really getting ready to go. Florida is now in the mix. As of 5 o'clock, we had tropical storm watches from Sebastian Inlet down to the very north. It's Ocean Reef. It's the very north tip of Key Largo. If you go down Key Largo, instead of turning right to go south, you can turn left, and it's right up in the north tip of that. That is it. So you can see where the warnings are now. Tropical storm watches are now. So if you're watching from Tampa, our area includes Highlands County and Polk County. At this point, I don't think will be included. It would be close for Highlands County and eastern parts of Polk County to be in a watch. And what a watch means is that tropical storm force winds are possible within the next 48 hours, essentially. It depends on when they issue it. But technically, it's 48 hours. But right now, they're not expecting that to make it that far inland. And that would be 39, anywhere 39 to 73 mile per hour winds. I don't expect it either. So let's talk about the forecast models now. This is the European model. And you're going to notice this thing drifting to the northwest. Now look at that. So let's back up a little bit. I'm going to put some pauses in here. This is 4 a.m. Let's go up to sunrise or so, Saturday morning. This is 10 a.m. You can see where the storm is now. And now this is the European, guys. The previous run of this model had a very weak system near Marco Island. And it has now shifted all the way over to the east here. The importance of that is that's where a lot of the other models have been. The GFS has always been out there. The European's been kind of back and forth. The European has finally now come over. So what I wanted to show you this was look at our Saturday. This is 2, 3, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Look at Tampa. Guys, that's nothing. Northeast winds, and I'll go over some wind speeds, just nothing. And most of the weather is over on the East Coast. There will be some scattered showers and storms, especially for inland locations. Depending on the shape, some of the rain could be heavy. There could actually be some flooding for inland locations. We just don't know what that shape is going to look like. But I do know, look where the yellows are. To the north and to the east of the center. I'm going to keep saying that because of that shear that's on the storm. So most of that's going to be there. I mean, this is overnight Saturday night and Sunday morning. It's not even raining in the Tampa area. And then as we get into Sunday afternoon, yeah, we get some afternoon showers and storms come over, and we'll get a couple of rain bands, but I don't think it's anything terrible. Now, we'll have to watch this. We don't know at this point because we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. If this slows down to make the turn a little bit more, we could get a little bit more rain out of this, right? And then if it goes faster, we'll get less rain. And I think initially, we'll back this up, if we go into Saturday afternoon, you see these bands that are coming in West Palm all the way up to Melbourne. We'll have to watch those for possible tornadic events. You get northeast quadrant, typically you get these quick moving cells that can produce really quick tornadoes, and literally 2-3 minutes and they're gone off the scan. But that's something that we will have to watch, even for our area, mainly inland, let's go on Saturday, of course, with that. Where are we at? Okay. So let's focus here, then it moves on up. Now, wind speed probabilities. This is from the National Hurricane Center. This is a product that they put out. So the colors are the chance or the probability that you'll see tropical storm force winds. That means 39 miles per hour or higher. By Sunday evening, Tampa has a 6% chance. Gainesville, 6%. Key West, 3%. Right? 9% Fort Myers. This is strictly probability from the Hurricane Center, and this will change, and it changes every time. But what you can see here is look at the chances here. Look where the highest winds are going to be. The best chance to see any high winds is going to be out in the Bahamas and then right up the center of this curve you see here. Now, 8 o'clock Saturday evening, it's in West Palm already. So if you have friends or family, if you're watching from South Florida, you really want to get any kind of preps you're going to get done by tomorrow night. Right? Saturday morning may be decent, but the weather's going to go downhill all day during the day on Saturday, so it's best if you can do any kind of preps you're going to do, get them done by Friday night, because by Saturday night, the tropical storm force winds have already reached almost up to Melbourne. Sunday morning, they're up towards Jacksonville. And that's if they push that strong winds. Right now, those areas in the yellow, they've got about a 40 to 50% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. Meanwhile, Tampa is about 10% chance, 5 to 10%. Polk County, Highlands, about 10 to 20% chance. Okay, just probability, just kind of give you an idea what the thinking is right now. All right, now let's look at the wind threat. Now this is what I was telling you, north and east, and this is another product from the Hurricane Center. And you can see the yellow area there. That is the center of that's the area that they think will have tropical storm force winds. So let's come back out here. Notice that red popping up. That should be orange. It should be hurricane. Coming through the Bahamas. Look how small that is, guys. That's a really small area. When they give these updates, they say, like right now, 60 mile per hour winds. I'm going to show you. That's the highest winds they can find inside that storm. Most of the storm does not have winds that strong. And so when they forecast the 75 mile per hour storms, look where it is. See a little red area right there? That's it. The rest of the storm is likely going to have less winds than that. look where it is by Saturday afternoon. It's struggling to get over to West Palm, and then you can see it moves on shore a little bit, but this is all over on the East Coast, and this is what we would call just skirting the coast. So if that holds, that's a really good trend to see as well too. All right, now let's talk about some of the winds here, and I'm going to go out through tomorrow evening. Nothing, right? Obviously. Watch what happens down in South Florida by sunrise on Saturday morning. West Palm, Miami winds just offshore, starting to pick up. You can see as you go through the day, this is in the afternoon on Saturday, 3 o'clock. You've got good breezes, obviously, a breezy day. But these pinks and the purple and some of the reds, the red is 30 and up. And you can see almost all of that is offshore still. Put that in perspective, to get a severe thunderstorm warning, you need 58-mile-per-hour winds. So we have much worse thunderstorms than most of what they're showing there on the East Coast. And then watch as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday. Let me see if this will go out further in time. Yes, it will. That's Sunday afternoon at 1:40. So look where all the wind is. Look at us. I mean, 10 to 15-mile-per-hour winds. For us, this is Saturday afternoon. It'll be northeast. Saturday night, starting to come around in the north a little bit. And then north-northwest during the day on Sunday. And 10 to 15-mile-per-hour winds. So that's the big difference. Now, what happens when you get this system to consolidate like this, it'll actually pull in the winds a little bit more near the center as it's kind of getting more organized, if you will. But it'll also pull the moisture in as well. And so that could mean even a drier forecast for us for Sunday. Let's go for this out. I want to show you the rainfall. Now, this is the GFS model, and this is going to vary. But take this out. You can see where the center is, and then look where the heaviest rainfall is. It's all right along into the east of where the center goes, okay? And so that's even good news at this particular point. But not good news for the Carolinas, again. So here we are, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, we'll call it Cape Fear region, right up US 17, New Bern, Washington, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Assateague, Ocean City, Maryland, Rehoboth, and then eastern end of Long Island up into Boston. That's the heaviest rain right now, and that's from the GFS model. And the heaviest winds would be along into the east of that line too. So yeah, that would be getting. I mean, the Hurricane Center right now, you see the one right there. They're calling for a Category 1 hurricane landfall, or at least close to a landfall. They're not really calling for it in the southeastern part of North Carolina. So let me explain the cone for you real fast. The Hurricane Center thinks that at that time, let's go back to this picture. It's a little bit easier for you to see here. Okay, so let's just start with Florida. Let me show you that. Sunday morning, they think the center is going to be right here. Now, when they look back at the air over the last 5 years, this is about 60-70% of where it falls in there. So there's actually a 30% chance that the center of the storm ends up outside of this cone, on this side or on that side. But 2/3, so like 66% of the air of all storms in the last 5 years have resulted in this line that you see here being this long. Right? And you notice this line down here is shorter because it's sooner in time. The forecast from the Hurricane Center was pretty decent. But then the more you get out in time, the more things can change and the forecast is not as accurate. So that's what that cone is saying. The center right now still could come up across Orlando almost, if, just looking at their air. So that's the cone, and that's just the center of the storm. That's not the effects of the storm either. It's really important to keep that in mind. All right, so we went through the winds, we went through the rain. Now let's show you the local forecast model. This is our RPM model. If you watch every day, this is what we're normally showing you, just for the local area, of course. And this is for early tomorrow morning. Notice where all the rain is. See where the center is right here? And you've got most of the rain out to the north and east of the center. And then as we get into Saturday afternoon into the evening, this is about 4 o'clock, the RPM model that we use is way out here. And look where all the weather is. Now, what you see here is what I was talking about. These lines here. You see this line of rain here, line of rain here. Those are rain bands. And those can be attributed, essentially, to the flow around Isaias. All right? So that's what I was talking about. We'll watch for some pretty good storms just in those rain bands. They'll have some gusty little breezes coming through there. But that could have a small chance for an isolated tornado. So that would be during the afternoon on Saturday. But that is not a rainout, guys. The problem with these types of things is, say you're here in Donona, Sassa, you're going to get this rain, you're going to get all this rain here too, because they train over top of each other. So we do watch for a minor flooding issue, but you can see, look, I mean, that's where all the wolf weather is, right? And then this is just one model, so we'll see what happens. Now, but wait, there's more. We've got Invest 93L with a 50% chance of developing out here in the far eastern Atlantic. Just came off of Africa, the Cape Verde area. Long way to watch it. This is where Isaias came off of as well too. So we'll keep an eye on it for you, but that's nothing to worry about. It's over 3,000 miles away right now. Okay, that's it, guys. Went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but if you have any questions, I'm going to be looking for those right now, and we're going to actually get a stream going here. I don't know if we're going to put up tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be working on it tonight. That's just a tropical stream. If you followed me, you know I do a radar stream when we have big storms in the area. It automatically just goes from point to point to point and kind of lets you be able to check out the radar where you live. Well, I'm going to do one of those for Isaias. It'll be radar and satellite and tracks and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get that set up later this evening. That'll be on my Facebook page, Bobby Deskins Weather, and likely put it right here on the 10 News page at one time as well, too. All right, guys, don't forget to like this, like my page, so that anytime we're doing updates, you'll get those. But right now, I'm thinking, you know, this is not a terrible situation for us. If you've noticed, the COVID testing sites in West Central Florida in the Tampa area were shutting down tomorrow because they use a lot of those sites for shelters, for evacuations. They are not closing those down now. They're going to keep those COVID testing sites open because they're thinking that a lot of the weather is just going to stay to our east. It's not going to be a big deal. So it just kind of gives you a sign of where people are at on this. And when I showed you the forecast there, you can see things are trending a little further to the east, which is good news for us. All right, I'll look for some questions in the comments here, and I will be getting back to you guys, whatever you need. All right, guys, have a good one.